Hello. I have gum in my mouth. Sorry. My favorite sovereign citizen decided to put forward an assertion. I wouldn't call it an argument. He merely asserted it. He said that the people who are doxing the First Amendment activists are the ones who are doing that which is antithetical to a free and open debate, free and open exchange of ideas. I don't remember exactly how he put it. And then he said, think about it, stop doing it, because he asserted it without really making an argument. Like, why is putting more information out there antithetical to a free and open debate? I mean, you'd think an open debate, you'd want more information. The more information you had, the better the debate could be. How is it an open debate if one side is completely closed off about who they are and why they're doing what they're doing? And that's the first question in any of the interviews. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why? Everybody wants to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Not that they believe me, but they all want to know why. Why are you doing this? It couldn't just be because you love free speech. No, there has to be some deep, dark, underlying reason. More speech is never antithetical to an open and free debate, an open and free discussion. More speech is never the problem. More speech is always better, always better. And doxing is one of those words where it means whatever the person who's saying it wants it to mean. There is no crime doxing. So, like what? I found out your name. Oh my God, millions of people have found out your name. Oh no. I mean, it's not like everybody you went to school with growing up knew your name. It's not like all your relatives know your name. Your friends know your name. It says your name on your driver's license. It says your name in the phone book. But somehow, once you become a First Amendment activist, if that's what we're going to assume these people are at this point, once you become a First Amendment activist, then all of a sudden it's no longer just knowing your name. It's doxing at this point, right? Knowing where you live, knowing your phone number. The phone book used to provide that, but now it's doxing. Now it's doxing. Finding public information on your arrest record, on all sorts of things that are public information. Now it's doxing. There's some moral problem with finding out information about people. That's weird. Companies do background checks all the time. Is that immoral? I don't think it is. I think these First Amendment auditors are auditioning for employment. They want people to keep them on the road. Help donate, keep me on the road. I need to stay in my Taco Bell. I need new tires for my car. Yeah, background checks aren't somehow magically immoral. I'm sorry, they're not. And republishing public information is not immoral, nor does it decrease the conversation. It increases it. Now we can say, well, here's where the person is. Here's where they're coming from. We could draw a line to see where they're going to. Whereas if you just see someone out of context in a situation, why is the officer acting like that to this guy? What did this guy do? We don't know. Why is this? It's weird, right? Oh, now we know. Now we know the guy's a convicted sexual predator. And now we know the cop's really upset because there's kids around there. Oh, now we know. Oh, but that's bad. It's bad for the open free exchange of ideas. That's bad. That's antithetical. Think about it, he says. Wink, wink. Fucking stupid. Then I've got Colin in there. Speaking of context, I've got Colin in there. He's the same guy who accuses me of deleting comments. He reposts the same thing over and over and over again, 90 million times into every comment thread. And then YouTube finally has enough and says, this dude's just spamming, and blows all of his comments into my spam filter. And I have been somewhat negligent in cleaning out my spam filter, because you got to do it. You can't do it from the phone. The phone app doesn't work for whatever reason. But if I log into a computer, I'll see a lot of spam messages. And it's all from Colin and Griga. And I mean, there's a few spammers that you would recognize. I'm not remembering them off the top of my head. L. Ron Hoover always gets caught in my spam filter because he reposts, and he's on my side, right? But he reposts the same comment over and over again. Oh, you're hateful. Oh, this and that. And every time he goes back behind and follows whoever he's fighting with that particular day and reposts the same thing. And YouTube eventually says, you're spamming. And so we're going to just start pulling these. Village Idiot, whatever his name is, he reposts the same shit over and over again. I guess they're showing me. Anyway, back to the point. Colin says it's a win. Ask any lawyer, it's a win to get a settlement. And number one, in the context I was talking about, going for First Amendment freedoms and things like that, no, a settlement is not a win ever. But a settlement can be a win. A settlement can be a win. If your objective is money, then settlement can be a win. But that doesn't mean it's a loss for the other side. If your goal is money, whether you think you could win or not, sometimes settlements will pay more than what the end goal of the litigation would be. You may only get nominal damages if you take the litigation all the way to its end, in which case you won't get money, and so you might think that a settlement is a win because you got money. And I think that's really where most of these First Amendment auditors, where their mindsets are at, because they get in on these things and they've been detained, right? And they're going to get nominal damages for that. They don't got a job. It didn't cost them any time. They were inconvenienced for 15 minutes, you know, and someone demanded to see their driver's license. Well, is that a violation? Sure, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. Are they going to get paid for it? You got to prove damages. That's what people always seem to fucking forget, is you got to prove damages. And nominal damages literally means it could be like, you get $1. You were right, they were wrong, take your $1, have a great day. And so, Colin's absolutely right. A settlement might be a win for them because they may want the money. That's one of the things when people come in to our law office. The very first thing we ask, or one of the very first things we ask, is, what do you want? What's your goal? I had a couple come in recently. They lost a child. We asked them what their goal was. They want the child back. Okay, well, we could get the child back for you. That's absolutely what we could do. And then they wanted to talk about everything else under the sun that didn't have anything to do with getting the child back. They left disappointed because they told us they wanted the child back, but I don't think they really wanted the child back. I think they wanted money. Because everything else they were talking about after we decide, okay, you want to get the child back, we'll get the child back. And all of a sudden it's oh, this person's a bad person. Ha ha. Cha-ching. Anyway, so my point is that no, settlements aren't wins. In the First Amendment context, if you could look at the classic one, Matsu Mishi or whatever the hell, VDHS. Try to cite that in court. You can't. If you actually read the settlement, it says specifically the government not admitting any liability. There's no liability admitted there. They paid him to settle it. But that's it. I mean, there's no win. It's not on the books. The next person can go to that spot and receive the same treatment. And you can't say, look, here's a court decision saying that you can't do that to me, because there isn't one. There is only a settlement. And a third party can't enforce a settlement. It's only the parties to that settlement that can enforce it. So if you want to say, oh, well, Matsumishi had a settlement and that settlement said that DHS is going to do X, Y, and Z. What are you going to do to enforce that settlement? Are you going to take them? You're going to file a motion for contempt in order to show cause for contempt? No, you can't. That's right, because you're not a party to it. So I know what I'm talking about, believe it or not, and Colin doesn't, believe it or not. And in the First Amendment context, settlements are not wins. Settlements are, at best, not losses. That's at best. Anyway, I think I've rambled long enough. So to summarize, more speech is always better. And, you know, every activist ever, until we get to these First Amendment auditors, has been a known person. I mean, even if you look at like the Second Amendment community, C.J. Grisham. I mean, whatever you want to say negative about the guy, he's got his name out there. I mean, he is an activist. He believes in what he's doing. He signs his name to it. Surprisingly enough, there was some weird guy named David Warden. Warden is in prison warden. W-A-R-D-E-N, Warden. Yeah? David Warden? No records, huh? Wouldn't sign his name to anything. Makes you wonder. So, more speech is good. Some settlements may be good, but in the specific context I was talking about, the First Amendment, that's not a win. You just can't say it's a win. If you have no case and you get a settlement out of it, that's a win. If you have a good case and you end up getting settlement out of it, either you were after the money and not the win, or you didn't have enough money to prosecute it. That can happen too. Or you thought you didn't have a good case and the other side had a better case, and so you decided to cut your losses. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.